What's up, guys? It's me again. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about my top surgery. I have it coming up in 2 weeks, which I'm freaking excited about. I will be having it with Dr. Garramone in Florida. And I guess I just wanted to tell you kind of about the experience I've had so far as the consults and the things I had to do paperwork wise and stuff to prepare for it. So first thing you got to do is call or email Dr. Garramone's office. Just letting them know you want to consult. They will schedule you a time. He only does them on Wednesdays. So after you make your appointment, they'll tell you to send 3 pictures to him. A front view and then each side. And then after that, you just wait till your call. They give you a time frame saying he'll call, between like noon and 3 or something like that. But I started freaking out a little bit because it was like 4 o'clock and they still hadn't called. So I ended up calling their office and just being like, hey, I want to make sure I got the date right, and that I'm still on the list. And they checked it, said, yeah, we just started calls late today, and Dr. Garramone was like in the office right then, so they were like, oh, he'll just take your call right now. So they transferred me over, and I got to talk to Dr. Garramone, and it lasted about 10 minutes. He asked some basic health questions like, what medications are you on, if you had surgeries in the past, do you have any kind of health conditions, family medical history. Then he goes over the price. He asks if you want mansclupting, and if you do, he'll tell you the price for that. And then at the end, he just says, do you have any questions about the surgery? And he'll answer anything you have. And then he'll transfer you to his office aide or secretary, whatever you want to call her. There's Jody and Kelly right now, and they will schedule your surgery appointment, or if you're not ready, then you can just tell them that and you can call back whenever. He does book up pretty quickly, so you're going to have usually at least a 3-month wait. That's what they told me. I called June 10th was my consult day, and I was hoping to have surgery around July 22nd, and they said that they didn't have anything until the end of August, beginning of September, which I need to get it done during the summertime because I've got school and work and stuff, come September, so that wasn't going to work for me. But they went ahead and put me on a wait list, which they said there was already people on there, and if they had a cancellation, they would call me. And I was pretty bummed about that because I didn't expect that there would be any cancellations, and if there were, the other guys on the list would get it first. So it was about, I think about a week, maybe 2 weeks later, probably closer to a week later, I get a call in the morning. I was still in bed, so the call woke me up, and they're like, yeah, so we have a cancellation for July 16th. Would you like it? And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I absolutely want it. But, I got to check a few things first. And they're like, yeah, totally understand. Just give us a call back before the end of the day, because if you don't, we'll give it to the next guy on the list. So I had to call around to some different people about stuff while I'm gone, and I needed to check some of my finances. I mean, I hadn't gotten all of the money that I needed. I've been trying to do fundraising and stuff, and it wasn't getting the momentum that I was hoping it would. So when they originally told me that they didn't have any openings this summer, I thought, okay, well, huge bummer, but it'll give me some time to save up the money. And then I get this call, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to let this opportunity pass, because if I don't take it now, I'm going to have to wait till next summer, because I can't do it during the school year. So I went ahead and got care credit, which I was approved for instantly. You fill it out online. You can find the link on Dr. Garramone's website, and you fill it out, some basic information, and they'll ask you, how much money do you want, and they'll tell you whether or not you were approved. And I got approved for it, and that was great, because I just don't have the cash. And because it was 4 weeks from surgery day, and you need to pay it 4 weeks from surgery day, I needed to pay that day. She did say that they could give me a couple of days to get the money together, because they understand, it being a cancellation and everything. I wasn't prepared for it. But I told her, no, during the day I was able to get that care credit, and so I was all set. So I went ahead and paid for it. And big tip right here, guys. This is something I did not know. And all the reviews I've seen, nobody has ever talked about this. So pay attention. If you're using care credit to pay for Dr. Garramone's top surgery, that sounds weird, to pay for top surgery from Dr. Garramone, they will charge you 6% on top of their regular fee. So Dr. Garramone charges for a double incision $6,000. So with the 6%, it was I think $6,360. So be prepared for that. I was a bit surprised, and it's a good thing I asked for more than I needed from care credit. I always like to have a little bit of a buffer, so I went ahead and asked for that. He already says it's on his website, but the hospital does not take care credit. So for your anesthesia costs, the $1,300 for the hospital, you can't pay for that with care credit. I'm planning on paying that with a check, and I don't know if they take personal checks, but I do have my debit credit card that I can give, because I do have almost enough money through my fundraising to pay for the hospital fee in cash. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Yeah, we talked about getting mansclupting, and although I really, really wanted it, I told them, I just can't do it, because it would add on, Dr. Garramone's fee would go up to $8,500, and then the hospital fee would go up to $1,700, and I just can't do it. But after thinking about it for a week or so, actually close to 2 weeks, I think, and talking to my friend about it, she was like, just do it, man. She's like, that you have a lot of problems, a lot of, dysphoria from your hips. And that when you come back, that's all you're going to be thinking about, and you're going to be regretting not doing it. And yes, it costs extra money, but you're really going to regret not doing it. And when are you going to get another chance to do this? And I was thinking, you know what? She's absolutely right. I will regret it. So I ended up calling them back and telling them I did want mansclupting. I'm going to get my love handles, or I think they call it the flanks, and the outer thighs done, because that's my curviest part. I am a pear shape, so everything kind of sits there and it just sticks out, and yeah, let's not get into that. Anyway, so that is what happened with that. Oh, and when I called them to say I do want to have mansclupting, of course I had to pay again, and I didn't have enough of a high enough credit line on my care credit, so I had to call care credit back, and I was really dreading it, thinking I was going to have to talk to a person, and they're going to ask, what my income is, and I don't really have much of an income, so I was afraid they were like, oh no, you can't do it. But it was all automated, and so you just call the number on the back of the card, and it'll ask you, what do you want to do? And I told them, increase my credit limit, and then it said, okay, how much more do you need? And you punch it in, and they'll ask you, well, what's your annual income, and I punch that in, and takes just like 3 seconds, and then they tell you whether or not you get approved, and you're instantly, that extra money is instantly put into your account, so you don't even have to wait. So I hung up with Dr. Garramone's office, called Care Credit, got the increase, and then immediately called Dr. Garramone's office again, and the money was already on Care Credit, so I was able to pay the extra fee for mansclupting. And mansclupting, another thing that I didn't know till one of my buddies went to him, he only does the mansclupting he does first thing in the morning, I guess because it's the longest and it's tiresome for him. So me being having mansclupting done, I'm going to have the first appointment, which is probably going to be like 7 a.m. So it's going to be really long. Really early, I guess I should say. And I heard another guy, one of his videos, say that he did mansclupting and he had a catheter put in, and he didn't hear any other guys do that, and he assumed that was because of the extra time length that the mansclupting adds, that they decided that was needed. But luckily that's something that you don't get put in until you're already out, so you don't have to worry about feeling that. That would be pretty horrible. I've had a couple of surgeries before, and I've had catheters for those, and they do put them in when you're asleep. Taking them out's not too bad usually. You're also usually still pretty out of it, so that helps when they take them out. So yeah, my surgery is scheduled for July 16th. I will be heading down there on the 14th. My flight is at 6 a.m., which really sucks. I will be staying at New Beginnings Retreat, which I'm looking forward to. I will be traveling alone. I don't have any friends around here that can go with me, and most of my family is not supportive. And the ones that, my mom, she's very much not supportive of it, and she thought about going anyway, though, just because I'm her child and I'm in need, and I will be going through this, surgery that's a pretty big deal. Surgery-wise, not trans-wise, because she's like absolutely trans, no, not good. But she couldn't get time off of work to do it, so I will be going alone. But when I come back, I've got a lot of mama dragons who are gonna watch out for me and help take care of me. So that's terrific. Yeah. Okay. So next part I forgot. Sorry, I kind of went off on a thing there for a minute. So Dr. Garramone's office will send you emails. They will send you an emailed receipt of what you paid, and you need to sign it and send it back to them. Luckily, you don't have to have a fax. I remember the day you used to have to fax everything. You have to just print it out, sign it, and then you could take a picture of it with your iPhone and then email that picture, and that's just fine, which is what I did. They will send you a copy of the financial policy, which just means you're agreeing to pay them. They'll send you a copy of the things that your doc needs to sign, your therapist needs to sign. Actually, no, those two you can find on his website. They did send me their prescriptions for the doctor, which kind of got me confused, because when I hear prescriptions, I think medications, but it's actually not medications, but it's written out like a doctor would write out a prescription for a medication, and it's just a piece of paper saying the labs that Dr. Garramone wants your doctor to do when that doc does the health exam, because you have to have medical clearance 30 days prior to surgery, saying that you're healthy enough for surgery. So I printed that out and I took that in to my doctor, along with the form that I got on his website that the doctor signs and fills out, just saying, they did a physical exam and that you're healthy enough for surgery. And I will tell you about my doctor experience with that in a different video.